car sitting next to me is a 550 horsepower Brute that'll do 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, has a top speed of 190 miles an hour. It'll go quicker around the Nürburgring than a Ferrari 458. But even more impressively, it'll do all that while seating 4 people in comfort in heated or air-conditioned seats. This is the new Porsche Panamera, and we're here in Bavaria to see how well it brings all that together. Put simply, the new Panamera looks great. It's borrowed many a styling cue from its little brother 911, including crisper taillights and sharper lines. Stunning new LED array headlights make a clean first impression, and the profile, too, is a little cleaner than the old car, which, depending on your opinion of the thing, was either shaped like a crouching tiger ready to attack, or a squatting dog ready to make a deposit. No such concerns with the new car, which has one striking trick up its sleeve: a pop-up spoiler that deploys at about 60 miles an hour, reducing lift or angling even sharper to provide additional downforce. But never mind all that, just know this: it looks fantastic.
And the interior looks great too. It's completely redesigned and unlike anything else on the road. There's a widescreen 12-inch display in the center console that has icons along the left for all the major features, while the right is left wide open for navigation or media or anything else that you want to. It's completely customizable. It's really easy and intuitive to use as well. It also has Apple CarPlay, which is great, but sadly, no Android Auto just yet. Behind the steering wheel, there's an analog tachometer. Porsche is sticking with tradition there. It is flanked by dual LCD screens you can control by your thumbs on the steering wheel here to toggle through all the different features. In the center console, there's this really nice, clean design. It's pretty minimalist compared to the last Panamera, which was full of buttons. This has all these flush controls that click like a mouse when you touch them. It's got a nice bit of tactility while still leaving a simple, beautiful design. But probably the hallmark, though, is this center vent of all things. It's got this crazy touchscreen control that moves around. It's a little bit overkill, but damn if it isn't pretty cool.
Things get even better in the back, with comfortable seats and a second touchscreen for controlling HVAC and even taking control of that brilliant Burmaster audio system, which sounds crisp and clean. There's plenty of legroom and even enough headroom for me, which doesn't happen very often. In fact, I was very nearly as comfortable back here as I am in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class or a BMW 7 Series, and that's saying something.
In fact, the Panamera is a proper competitor for those two German luxury yachts at this point, thanks to a lot of new safety features they've added. The car now steers to keep itself in the lane, and the adaptive cruise control is a lot more advanced. It'll still speed up or slow down based on traffic, but also slows down based on road conditions and how sharp the corners are, which is really impressive. There's a camera that reads street signs and adjusts cruise control appropriately, and it's even got night vision.
But as amazing as all that tech is, even more attention has been paid to make the car great to drive. There's a new optional air suspension that offers a greater range between Comfort and Sport Plus modes than before. Standard all-wheel drive means there's plenty of grip, even in the changing conditions we face during our testing. Rear steering makes the car feel like it has a much shorter wheelbase, and a new 8-speed transmission not only offers quicker shifts than before, but more comfortable ones too. And finally, all these disparate systems have been tied together into a far more homogeneous package. Using something Porsche calls 4D chassis control, the Panamera brings traction control, active suspension, adaptive roll bars, and rear steering together into one system, meaning the entire driving experience is always fully optimized just for you.
And when you've dropped off your passengers and it's time to have a little bit more fun, you can reach down to the mode knob right here in the steering wheel and go from Sport and then all the way up to Sport Plus mode. At this point, the car hunkers down by about 20 millimeters for better aerodynamics and better handling. The transmission gets quicker, the throttle responds sharper, suspension stiffer, and overall, the car is transformed. It's still a big brute, and it's definitely not the lightest thing on the road, but it feels remarkably nimble. And with 550 horsepower under your right foot, you're not lacking for acceleration either.
And if none of those modes suit you, or if you just like being particular, there's a final choice for individual mode where you can choose all your own settings.
Porsche has done something pretty remarkable with the new Panamera. They've taken a car that was respected by most and yet loved by few and turned it into something that's truly covetable. Pull up in the office in one of these and you won't have to make any apologies about the way it looks, and certainly nobody should complain about the way it performs. But you will have to pay for it. Starting price on a base Panamera 4S is $99,900. If you want the full-fat turbo, that's $146,000. Whether it's worth it is between you and your accountant and how quickly you want to get to work in the morning. But if you can swing it, it's pretty hard to find a flaw in this charming brute, which finally has the looks to match its personality.